Okay, the first point that we come up with is that perhaps the way we assess students is going to change over the next 10 years. I mean, I see it already happening in England. We're talking about what we call e-portfolios, because we can keep records and document students' progress by videoing them, by recording them, by keeping records of their text, by keeping records of their wikis, of their blogs. So it may be that one of the big changes with the use of technology is the way we assess students, and possibly even what we can assess as well has also changed. I think that the initial changes in the use of technology, or introduction of technology into language teaching, were often driven by the schools themselves and driven by the teachers. But I feel as the use of technology becomes more pervasive and more part of our life, the demand for the use of technology will be from the consumer, will be from the student. They will be expecting to be using technology both in the classroom and as part of the activities that they do outside of the classroom. So I think the drivers for the use of technology will change, and there will be a high expectation to use technology both in the classroom and as part of the learning outside of the class. Yeah, what we're trying to say here is that I'm not sure about the full range of technological tools. One of the things that I feel will happen, at the moment there's been a kind of massive avalanche of possibilities. We waited a long time. I was in London waiting for about 5 or 6 years before Web 2.0 turned up, and suddenly a lot of opportunities to make use of technology, you know, the way that we could use the opportunities suddenly changed. I feel that what will happen now that it's slowly, from this avalanche of Web 2.0 technologies, we'll start to identify some key tools that really do work in the class. It won't be everything. There will be certain things. Some of you know that I'm a big fan of Camtasia, for example. I feel that that's one of the technologies that's emerging as a really important tool that we're going to carry forward and make good use of. Others will just fall by the wayside. So I think that we can say that we will be using certain key technologies in the class, and there'll be the drivers again for that will be both because students will be expecting them, and because they'll be bringing their devices into the classroom. They'll be bringing in their iPhones and their etc. PDFs or whatever. PDAs. And also, of course, the other thing is that the costs of technology, as we've sort of made a point of, go down. They initially start fairly high, but they drop down fairly quickly. So that's again, I'm sort of repeating myself slightly over those 2 points together, but I think that there are going to be certain key technologies that will emerge. I think the avalanche of technologies that are available at the moment, and sort of every day I go onto the internet and there's another Web 2.0 tool that Nick Peach is telling me about, and I think there will come a point when we start saying, well, that really works, that's really effective, that's something we've really got to make use of and learn about. This is interesting. Technology will probably not replace teachers, but teachers who can use technology will replace the teachers who cannot. That's actually not far. Who was the person?
Ray
Right.
Clifford.
Right. I think there will come a point when, if the teacher doesn't decide to embrace technology in the classroom, then they're going to be redundant. I think there's going to be a massive pressure. Alright, can we use this with the next page as well?
Yeah.
Grand.
Embrace it, Russell.
I'll have to do a set of training videos about it. We think that the course book may change radically. We just think that the way that we consume printed material may really, really change. So a lot of the content will be, you'll go online, choose a course book, choose a chapter and print that. I mean, that's probably happening already. And of course there will be a lot more different channels available for getting content as well. I think that's something that's probably already happening. This, for me, is a really big point. I think this is really something that's really happening at the moment. If you look at the sort of technology, I see it in the research I'm doing at university. There's a lag, there's a time lag. If you, for example, take on a new technology and you want to try it out in the classroom, and then you want to do some research on it and write about it and publish it in a journal. Often if you send an article to a journal, they'll take a year in publishing it. Now, it's just too slow. So I've got a feeling that the kind of, let's call them, the people that are the people that are setting the trends, I think it's going to change massively who those people are. They're going to be bloggers, they're going to be tweeters. It's a lot faster movement now. And I think a lot of organisations will get lost in this. A lot of the journals, etc. There's just too much of a time lag. And we're going to see other kind of role players having a major impact on what we're doing in the classroom. And it won't be from the traditional sources. And that's kind of again, sort of talking about what we saw the official bodies being less influential because, as I said, of the pace of change. You know, I use, for even when I'm teaching, say, on my MA, I do the media and technology on my course. I mean, I make my students make greater use really of the blogs than I do of the journals, because it's the blogs that are up to date and they've got the latest ideas in them. And the journals are often well behind. They, you know, you'll get a journal publication that might be talking about, say, for example, using Blackboard. We've been using Blackboard at the university for 10 years. It's just far too far behind there, you know. So that's a key point for me. This is an interesting one. I've put this in, and I was forcing this one a bit because it's a real key thing for me. And it's a kind of movement that's taking place in Britain, and it's called, well, it's not taking place in Britain, it's taking place all over the world. It's called Open Educational Resources. And it's good to hear that some other people have heard about it. I mean, for example, MIT, the Open University in England, they did a project called Open Learn, and they released, Open University in the UK, released, I think it's about sort of 50 or 60% of their content onto the internet, and made it completely free. Absolutely free, anyone could go on, anyone could consume it. MIT have gone as far as, according to their report, 80% of all their course content has been digitised and made free. But the result of that has been that actually the number of students doing courses at the Open University has increased. So this could open up a whole new marketing opportunity by digitising the content and using it as a way of giving students or potential students a taster of the types of things that they might be able to do at your schools, if you're a language school owner. And I've actually seen this on my own course. I run a master's degree in multimedia. We've made our course content available, all the training videos, because I've got teachertrainingvideos.com. I also do multimediatrainingvideos.com, which is basically for my students. And that, we've seen an impact. So students come on from all over the world, they use the content, they think, okay, we'd like to study with the team that's produced that content. And we've seen a fairly big increase, over 50%, in the number of students on my master's degree. So one of the things I think that technology could do is it could massively influence the way we market our courses. Okay? Cheers.
Thank you very much.